I can't wait to show you my toys.
Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to look at the McFarlane Toys Fortnite Inferno action figure. This guy here is a suited body with a sort of fiery head, very unique look to him. I think he's really cool. He's probably going to be on the wildcard body with a red suit. I'm probably going to be using this guy as a villain in my Batman world. He just screams a Batman rogue to me. Suited guy with sort of a gimmick going on. So let's go and check out the packaging here. As you can see, Fortnite, 22 moving parts, and McFarlane is pretty conservative in bragging on their articulation. They could have probably boasted a lot more than that. And you can see he's got Epic Games here, Inferno, age 12 plus. Got this little barcode thing here. I've gotten all the McFarlane figures. I've never figured out what you can do with this. If anybody knows, please tell me. Got the actual figure here. Looks like he's got the standard accessories, weapon, back bling, harvesting tool, and a stand in the back there. Top of the package, Fortnite Inferno. Here's the guy. McFarlane Toys, you can see the Spawn logo up there. One side, here he is, just sort of standing there. Other side, a little smaller, same thing. The bottom, we do a barcode in case anybody needs it, as well as a bunch of credits. And then the back, you can see some of the other figures. He's pictured with a prisoner next to him, and prisoner actually hasn't been released yet, but should be dropping any day now. And then you can see some of the other figures, both old and new, pictured on the back, as well as a glider. So with no further ado, let's open this guy up. And I must say, I got my figure from GameStop.com. They're becoming available there. McFarlane is finally really getting these guys, getting them out pretty fast. At GameStop.com, if you spend $50 in in-stock merchandise, you're eligible for free shipping. Of course, they price these guys at $24.99, so two of them is $49.98. I had to wait till there was a third one to be able to get my free shipping, but I finally got it, and here he is. Alright, well now that we got this guy out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. And just like all the other McFarlane releases, he comes with a back bling, harvesting tool, a weapon, and a stand. He comes with the Catalyst back bling, the Inferno pickaxe, and he comes with what I believe are supposed to be dual pistols because he has two of them. Now we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure McFarlane screwed up and released hand cannons in place of dual pistols. They did the same thing with the AIM figure that came out in recent history. I would say with certainty those are definitely hand cannons. McFarlane just made a big old mistake on this. But before we look at his accessories, let's check out the actual figure. And I must say, I'm very pleased with the way this guy came out. First of all, I'm a sucker for suited bodies. Red suit, black shirt and vest underneath, red tie, looks great. Look at this guy's face. Looks like Red Hood from Batman until you get to the fire on the back. This guy would make a great Phosphorus Rex substitute, or Dr. Phosphorus as Batman villains. Just look at that suit. Definitely the same body as Wildcard. Head looks great. I've always thought this is the coolest skin of the game. Wouldn't mind getting it. The details, see the buttons on the vest. Love the black gloves. I mean, it's basic, but not at the same time. I always loved the Wildcard figures. Thought they were great for McFarlane. And this guy is just as good. So next, let's check out his actual accessories. Let's go ahead and start off with his stand. All McFarlane figures come with one. It's got the Fortnite logo, a couple of pegs on there. It's made out of hollow plastic, pretty basic. I'm really not much of a stand guy. Your figures should be able to stand on their own. So this is going to go into a huge box of stands, never to be seen again. Next, let's look at his back bling. This is called the Catalyst. I don't believe Inferno has a specific back bling intended for him, but this is the one they chose to give him with the figure. So as you can see here, a little antenna sticking out of the side, got a little gear at the bottom there, bunch of pockets and whatnot. Overall, pretty decent piece. Of course, here's the peg hole that'll fit into his back. And then here he is wearing his back bling. Of course, you can't really see much from the front, but if you take the guy, kind of flip around, you can see how it would look on him. And then here's his back bling next to all the different McFarlane Fortnite back blings they've released so far. We're getting a whole lot of variety to choose from, and just like the game, they are interchangeable between each of the characters. And then here it is next to all the different back blings from both McFarlane and Jazwares. Unfortunately, this is the only accessory that is not interchangeable between the two lines. It'd be great if it was, but it simply isn't. The peg is a different thickness on the back of the two different brands. Still, we are getting a big variety from each company to choose from. And then here are some different McFarlane figures, all wearing each other's back blings, showing that they are customizable and interchangeable, just like in the game. Of course, some of these fit a little bit looser than the others, because simply the peg and the hole are ever so slightly minutely different sized. And then, like I said before, unfortunately the back blings are not interchangeable between McFarlane and Jazwares, as the hole and peg are slightly different sized. As you can see, peg hole there, peg hole there. If I were to take Abstract's back bling, you can see the thickness of the peg compared with the McFarlane version. Jazwares is a little bit thicker. It simply just will not fit into this guy's hole no matter how much you try. And then if you were to take the McFarlane into the Jazwares, sure it'll fit, but it's just going to fall right out and not stand there very well. Next, let's look at his harvesting tool, or more commonly called the pickaxe in the game. This here is intended for Inferno, and it's called the Inferno. Pretty cool. It got jagged edges, it's red, definitely matches his mask or helmet. Overall, looks pretty good. Got a little bit of a gripping area at the bottom there. Here he is holding his pickaxe, looking pretty good. It definitely matches his suit and mask very, very nicely. Of course, then you got Inferno walking by, hearing some kind of noise. What's behind this wall? So pick, 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 pick. And then as he breaks through the wall, not only does he have a little bit of extra brick, but he found out what was making that noise. There's a chest back there. And then would you look at that? Looks like he found both a scar and a med kit. And then here's his pickaxe compared with all the other pickaxes McFarlane has released so far. We got quite a bit to choose from, and of course they are interchangeable between the different figures. And then here it is next to all the different pickaxes that both McFarlane and Jazwares have released, and I'm pleased to say they are interchangeable between the two different lines, giving you a ton of customization and interchangeable options, just like in the game. And then here are several different McFarlane figures holding each other's pickaxes, showing you that they are truly interchangeable for each figure. And then here are some McFarlane figures as well as Jazwares figures holding each other's pickaxes, showing you that they can be interchanged between McFarlane and Jazwares. Next, let's look at his guns. These are supposedly his dual pistols, but in all reality, they're definitely hand cannons. They look pretty good. A little bit oversized pistol for a figure of this nature. Got some black, some gray, the trigger, a lot of sculpting detail on it. It's really a pretty nice gun, all things considered. And then here they are next to the two dual pistols, which were really hand cannons that came with AIM from a couple waves ago. Straight re-release, but it's okay. And then here they are next to a couple of hand cannons that came with the Jazwares wildcard figures. These ones are actually labeled as hand cannons and are clearly the same weapon as these pistols at the bottom. And I personally have 4 Jazwares and now 4 McFarlane hand cannons. And then here are the 2 hand cannons that came with Inferno, compared with 2 dual pistols from a Jazwares figure. That is what the dual pistols actually look like. McFarlane definitely messed up and mixed up the hand cannon and dual pistols. And then here he is holding his 2 hand cannons, and they actually look pretty good. As you can see, maybe a little bit oversized or realistic, but definitely game accurate. Like I said, I really like the way they look in his hands. He does have one hand with a trigger finger, which works great there, and the other hand doesn't have a trigger finger, but it holds it just fine. And then here's this guy's gun next to all the different weapons that McFarlane has released so far, not including the doubles. And here are all the different guns they've made between McFarlane and Jazwares, not showing the doubles, made from both companies. Big arsenal here. Starting to get very few guns that they haven't made between the two lines yet. And then here are several different McFarlane figures holding each other's weapons, showing that you can customize and interchange them. And then here are some Jazwares figures holding McFarlane guns and McFarlane guns holding Jazwares guns. Not only do they fit and work, but they actually look pretty good as well. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at his accessories, next let's see how he fits in with the McFarlane glider and quad crasher. Here he is next to the glider, attached with a transparent stand to the launch pad at the base. This was made for McFarlane toys, so it should work out good with this guy. As you can see, this is how tall he is next to it, scaling up pretty good so far. Here he is getting onto a launch pad, getting ready to get out of a sticky situation. And then as you can see, yes, he does work out great with the McFarlane glider. As you can see, here he is in his gliding position. This is the Mako glider, but he'll work just fine with the default glider as well. And then here he is riding on the McFarlane Toys Quad Crasher. As you can see, if you were to want to put his hands on the handlebars, he would have to kind of be up of the seat just a hair. He fits in pretty good though. And then here he is riding in the back of the Quad Crasher with another McFarlane Fortnite figure driving. He's getting ready to shoot a bunch of people and try to get some kills while riding a vehicle. Next, let's check him out with a couple accessories I really like using for my Fortnite figures. Here's a couple shopping carts that I got from a meeting at work many years ago. Two duos charging each other, getting ready to blast each other. And speaking of shopping carts, the actual McFarlane shopping cart pack is available for pre-order at Amazon.com for $39 for 2 figures and a shopping cart. It's due to come out late October. Pretty good price and a pretty cool set. Here he is next to a campfire, healing up. This guy definitely should have built a wall before he's healing. He's going to get sniped like a noob. This campfire here is from a NECA Friday the 13th Jason figure, and I think it works great for the Fortnite figures. Now that we've taken a pretty in-depth look at his accessories and a couple other accessories you can use for him, next let's check out the height of this figure. This is a McFarlane Fortnite figure. They typically run the 7-inch scale, and the Jazwares run the 6-inch scale. So this guy here, from bottom to top, is sitting right about 7.0 inches if you count the fire, about 6.8 without the fire. Next, let's check out this guy's articulation. So let's go ahead and start off with the head here. Of course, it can turn from side to side. It can look down about that far, which is pretty nice, and up about that far. He does have ball jointed shoulders and go out more than 90 degrees. There is a ball joint inside of here where they can go up and down, around. Now there is articulation between these two parts. There's also articulation between these two parts. There's more plastic between his chest and shoulder area. As you can see, you can kind of go up and down inside of there, as well as rotate independently of that. Then he's got a bicep cut below here. He's got double jointed elbows that can go all the way inside. His wrist is swiveled and hinged. He's got, I believe, some kind of ab crunch underneath this rubber suit that you can't really see, but I can definitely feel some articulation under there. It looks like it's a ball joint, go forward and rotate. Then he's got a traditional waist swivel below here. His legs go out not quite 90 degrees, about that far. Forward, about that far. Back, about that much. You can see the type of joint on the inside. It's like there's articulation where the black meets the red there, as well as at the base of where the black meets each other. Double joint knees. Go back about that far. Then his feet, you can see there's sort of a circle ball inside of there. It can go forward and back, and if you were to rotate the ball, which is really kind of a pain, his foot would be able to rock from side to side. But like I said, with his pant leg, it's really difficult to rotate that ball. He also has toe articulation. Next, let's check out the reuse from this figure. So I took Wildcard here, which I believe is pretty much the same body. As you can see, their feet are definitely the same. Legs are definitely the same. I'd say these figures are going to be completely identical, except for the head. And you know what? It works. I love this Wildcard figure, and I love this Inferno figure. They're great. I love suited guys, unique suited villains. These are just great for my Batman world and my Fortnite world. Next, let's check them out compared to some other action figures, starting off with some other recently released McFarlane Fortnite figures. Here he is next to the two most recently released McFarlane Fortnite figures. On the left here we've got Dire, and then Inferno, and then Havoc. These are the three figures I purchased from GameStop.com to pass that $50 threshold and be eligible for free shipping. All three are pretty nice figures. Here he is next to Overtaker and the Ice King. These were the two Fortnite figures in the previous assortment. What we got coming out next is going to be the Prisoner, and then we've got Red Strike, which is an Amazon exclusive, and then I believe Peely is going to be coming after that. So some really nice stuff on the horizon. We do also have two Beast Mode figures. We've got the Hybrid Creature, and we've got Nighthair. A lot of figures on the horizon with McFarlane, plus the shopping cart pack. And then here he is next to one of each of the different McFarlane Fortnite figures they've made so far. And we got a whole bunch more coming soon. They're really getting these guys out on a regular basis now. And then here he is next to my entire collection of McFarlane Fortnite figures. You may notice there are some duplicates up top. I bought 4 of Skull Trooper and 4 of Green Glow Skull Trooper to use as Scarecrow thugs in my Batman world. I also got 4 of the wild cards so I could have all 4 of the different faces and use them as my Royal Flush Gang in my DC Batman action figure world. Here he is next to all the Jazwares Fortnite figures they've made so far. There are a total of 11 of them so far, and more of them coming soon. You may notice these are 6-inch scale figures, and the McFarlane ones are 7-inch scale figures, so there's a little bit of a size difference. I'm not picky myself, so I throw them all into one giant Battle Royale. And then here he is next to my entire Jazwares and McFarlane Fortnite collection. Quite a bit of figures here at this point. Like I said before, some of the doubles are Rabbit Raider for Mad Hatter Thugs, Wild Cards for the Royal Flush Gang, and Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Thugs. I find that the McFarlane figures were pretty good with NECA, Diamond Select, DC Direct, and DC Collectibles, whereas the Jazwares works pretty good with Mattel, DC Universe Classics and Multiverse, or Hasbro Marvel Legends. And then here he is in a huge Battle Royale. Huge fight with all my Fortnite figures. As you can see here, these guys are driving around, blasting each other, fighting, gliding, getting loot, shooting all around, exploding, healing. All these guys trying to see who will get the win. So overall, this is a very solid figure. I must say I like him a lot. I like him a lot more than I expected to, and I expected to like him a lot. So I liked Wildcard a lot, and this guy uses a lot of the same parts, which works for me. I'm absolutely a sucker for suited bodies, and this guy's a big one. He's 7 inches scale. His red and black suit really pop. His fiery hair, his sort of cracked helmet. This guy just hits in all the right places. I think this guy will work great in my action figure world as one of those obscure Batman villains, and he's great as a Fortnite character. I've always liked this skin. I personally don't have it myself. So if I were to rate this figure, I'd go ahead and give him a full 8 out of 10. Pretty high rating, but this figure is really doing it for me. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.